Hello and welcome to my channel. I wanted to make a video of my first ever ride outside with other people. It's not a race. I wish I could call it a race, but it's not a race. It's just a ride. But I did this ride. It was in the area, so I figured I would do it. So let's check it out. Again, it's not a race, so I didn't go full gas, but I wanted to record it because it's the first ride that I did as an event. And I did a 35-mile route. I didn't want to go too much for like 50 or 100, just because it's the first time. I want to make sure everything goes smooth. But yeah, maybe in the future I'll do longer distances. But let's take a look.
Controlled intersections today.
So this is the beginning. Everybody's going kind of slow here at the beginning. I kind of wish I went a little bit forward. The idea is to obviously to have the faster riders in the front. I guess I underestimated myself a little bit and I put myself a little bit more back. So yeah, I didn't want to go straight out of the gate and go super fast and just start passing everybody. So I just kind of sit here for a second, just to, you know, get through the first few meters here and then go from there. Unfortunately here I was stuck with this group because they were in double file, so you're not supposed to have 3 cyclists next to each other. So I was just stuck here waiting for them to get into one line so I could start passing them. But yeah, they really slowed me down quite a bit. I mean, again, these guys are just going out for a ride. I'm not necessarily going for a race, to be honest, but I wanted to push myself a little bit because I wanted to see what I could do. So after just over 2 miles, finally get here the opportunity to start getting ahead. And here's where I start passing everybody here, trying to get in front. So after passing that group, there's this rider ahead. I was just kind of sitting behind them just to see how draft worked in real life. Let me tell you, it's not as effective as in Zwift. But no, I just having fun. I wanted to see what his pace was like and see if it's something that I wanted to stick with. But it wasn't as much as I wanted to do, so I decided I was gonna pass, and I was just looking for the right opportunity to pass him. Yeah, see, I was about to pass him, and then I have a radar on the back, and it just alerted me of a car. So I was like, okay, let's not do something stupid. This is not a race. This is a ride with cars. So let's just be responsible and not just go for these crazy passes. So right after the car passes by, I was like, okay, let's go. Let's just push. And at this point, I didn't really know if there was somebody in front of me or not. I was I don't know, maybe like 8th or 10th in the starting line. So I've already passed quite a few people, so I don't really know if there's anybody ahead of me. Not that it really mattered, because like I said, this is a ride, it's not a race. But I just out of curiosity, you know, maybe there's somebody that was going at my pace and I could just stick with them, but I'm not really sure. One thing that was really nice here, and I was not expecting, to be honest with you, is the police were literally like blocking the intersections to let us pass, and I didn't really know about this. So you can see as I'm approaching this big intersection with a bunch of lanes and stuff, they just blocked the whole thing. I was like, what am I supposed to do here? Again, this is my first event, so I didn't really know. I was slowing down behind this car. I was like, okay, am I supposed to go here? And I see the police there directing traffic, so I was like, okay, I gotta go. Yeah, you know, first timer type of thing. Yeah, this is the only section that's on a big road. Everything else was on small roads, like neighborhood roads. And it didn't really last very long. It was just turning here and then going on the right pretty soon. So here's what I run into: a group of people that started, I think it was like 5 minutes before me. They were doing the 50 mile, I believe. Not really sure. So it was cool to see. And here there's a rest stop on the right, and the guys they're like applauding and stuff. Of course, I'm not gonna stop. I mean, this is only like 8 miles. Is nothing. There's, you know, there's much more to go. I'm not gonna stop every rest stop. Everything was good. The bike was good. I was feeling good, so no reason to stop.
9 miles in, I realized I don't have music on.
I don't know if it's very clear because of the wind, but I basically I said that it was 9 miles in, and that's when I realized my music was off. I was so like, you know, distracted by all the things going on that I didn't even realize my music was not on. And just by the way, I use open ear headphones, like earbuds, but they're open ears, which means it's like having speaker next to your ear, so you can very clearly hear everything around you. It's actually amazing because you get really good audio quality, and at the same time you can hear everything around you, which is obviously critical when you're on the road. You know, you don't want to have earbuds and not hear cars driving by and stuff. Another thing that I noticed that nobody was getting off the saddle. I was the only person that I saw getting off the saddle. Now it's possible that maybe some of the other groups, you know, like 50 or 100 kilometers or 100 miles were doing that, but out of the groups that I saw, I didn't see anybody getting off the saddle. So right towards the middle section of the route, there's a big climb. Well, not really a big climb, to be fair. There wasn't a huge climb, but it was like a long 2 to 3% incline. And obviously, you know, I looked a little bit at the route, not too much, but a little bit, and I knew this was coming at some point. Here is not too bad. It's more like later down the line, but like I said earlier, like I was the only person actually getting off the saddle and pushing through. Look at that. That's a bike for two people. That was pretty awesome. I've never seen one in real life. I've seen it before, but I've never seen it in real life, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, just pushing through, trying to get to the middle of the course, because there's a rest stop right there, and then you turn around and you go back. So this is where the main climb was. I mean, it's not really a big climb. It was like 2% up to 3%. Nothing crazy. I was putting about 200 watts just to get through it real quick. And I was just looking forward to finding the place where I'd have to turn back and go back. So the halfway point. This is where I started to feel some vibration in the pedals when I was pushing about 200 watts. And to be honest, I was a little bit worried about there could be a puncture. And to be honest, I'm not too familiar with outdoor bikes. Like I've ridden outside a bit, but I'm not, like, most of the time I'm in Zwift, so it's really hard for me to troubleshoot and figure out, okay, what is the issue while I'm on the bike, you know? I would have to get off and check the pressure and stuff like that. So I was a little bit worried about, you know, it could be a puncture and maybe I had to stop or I had to wait a lot of time. This is where the rest stop was. I needed to change battery. The camera, to be honest, I really didn't need to, but out of safety, because the camera lasts about 2 hours, and I knew I was gonna take about 2 hours, so I was like, well, let's just change battery, because it would suck to not record, you know, getting to the end line. So I just stopped here for a second, switched battery, got a carb gel, drank a little bit of water, and started again. So here I am going back now. Took me about 5 minutes between changing the battery on the camera and drinking and eating for a second and getting back up on the bike. I was worried about having a puncture, and to be honest, I forgot to check the tire. I forgot to check the tire. I probably should have, I don't know, but I forgot to check the tire, so I didn't know if I had a puncture or not. And with, like, the more I pedaled, the more I felt this vibration. Like, at the beginning, I was feeling it only above 200 watts, but as I'm going back, I start feeling it around 180 watts, 170 watts. So I was really worried that it was some kind of flat that was just slowly getting worse. So I did start to go a little bit slower, and I kind of regret that now, because obviously now I know it was not a puncture. I'm not really sure what it was. It might just be the chain that was dirty. I didn't clean the chain. I was like, I'm just gonna clean it afterwards. And you know, obviously in retrospect, I probably should have done it before, but yeah, I think that's what it was. I'm not too sure, but it's not. It was not a puncture, that's for sure. Right around almost 25 miles, I actually see a rider from the same route that I was doing. I was a little bit shocked because I didn't think anybody was ahead of me. But there was actually at least one person. I don't know if anybody finished ahead of me, but this was the last rider from my route that I saw that was ahead of me. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but I was quite surprised to see somebody ahead. So, but yeah, I mean, again, this is not a race, but I mean, I'm going at my own pace. I'm trying to go at like 170 to 180 watts. So I'm just gonna push through. You know, it is what it is. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm just gonna go here and pass real quick because I think there's a car behind. Hear the radar, so I was like, okay, let's just get in front, let the car by, and then get back on pace. Yeah, everything's smooth so far. I was still a little bit worried about this vibration that I had in the pedals. But I was feeling alright. I noticed that my heart rate was quite a bit higher than usual for this kind of watts. I'm not really sure why, to be honest. I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been working out a lot and maybe I need to deload a little bit. But I noticed my heart rate was quite high for the watts that I was outputting. We're getting towards the end here, 26 miles. There's this group here I'm trying to pass. So I'm gonna go up in gear, get off the saddle, and get past them. Again, I'm the only person I've seen that's gotten off the saddle. It's alright, hey, I'm just having fun. To be honest, this is actually lower watts on average that I've done normally on my normal rides outside. I typically do like 170 watts average outside when I go by myself, and I actually did less on this ride, so I'm not actually racing. Here I get on that main road that I mentioned earlier, and again, I'm surprised that the police actually stopped traffic. I slowed down a little bit, obviously, just to be cautious, but as soon as everything's good, I was like, okay, cool. And I start pushing here up because I want to get off this road as quickly as possible to, number one, interfere as least possible. And number two, I don't know, it's a big road and cars go very fast, so let's get off this road. Approaching the stop, honestly, I was not expecting the police to stop the cars. And yeah, so I stop here and I waste quite a lot of time just sitting here. And I probably should have gone to the left of the cars, not to the right, but yeah, I'm inexperienced, I guess. So it was a little bit annoyed by how much time I wasted there, considering that they were gonna stop the cars anyway.
I wasted so much time there. As Connor would say, on Condon. Never mind. Super tuck.
So I don't know if it's very clear. It's a little low volume, I guess. I put it a little bit low, but also because the wind, there's so much wind noise. I don't want to put the wind noise up into you guys' ears. But basically what I was saying is, as Condon would say, super tuck. So Ryan Condon is a Zwift YouTuber, if you're not familiar with it, and he's one of the main reasons that I started Zwifting and getting on the bike. So here's a shout out for him. But yeah, in his videos, like in real life videos, when he gets low, he says super tuck. So I said the same thing, super tuck. Anyway, here unfortunately I wasted quite a lot of time because I mean we literally stopped.
Oh my god.
I don't know what was going on here, maybe some kind of market or something, but yeah, we literally came to a halt. Not just here, but even after a little bit, I think there's a stop or something. So yeah, I wasted quite a lot of time with cars towards the end of the ride. When getting back into the city, I wasted a lot of time. So I wasted time there. Then I went up here, and look at this.
Turn right.
Look at this.
Ooh, he's right.
That guy ran a red light. That was insane.
Thank God there was not a cyclist.
Yeah, thank God there was not a cyclist there. That's insane. I mean, the guy literally ran a red, like straight up just red. It's not like, okay, you know, you see some people that are like, okay, it's yellow and they go through last second. No, it was literally red. So yeah, that was pretty scary. It really makes you think, you know, like, what if you were there? It's pretty scary. So here's kind of funny because I turned right here and just listen to my reaction here.
Oof.
This was like, what, 5%? This is a pretty heavy one, to be honest. I was not expecting this. Yeah, 5%. On the Strava segment, or what was it? The Ride with GPS said that the maximum was 2.8%. And this thing right at the end is like 5%. I was just not expecting it, to be honest. But yeah, it was short, so I just got through it. So here's where the route ends. To be honest, I was a little bit sad that the end line was not on a straight. It was in a turn. I understand it's for safety, but it would have been cool to get like a picture passing the end line, you know, the finish line, sprinting. That would have been pretty badass, but it is what it is. I understand. The main ride was about, you know, awareness of bicycles and safety. So I completely understand. To be honest, it was a very, very well organized, a very nice ride. They had breakfast, they have post-ride lunch, they even had like showers and stuff. It was really well organized and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to thank everybody that volunteered and helped setting this up. It was an amazing ride.
Thank you.
And everybody was so positive as well, so it was a pretty great ride.
Thanks so much.
And that's the end. I actually finished the 35 miles in about 1 hour and 59 minutes. Yeah, I didn't push too hard. I want to blame the fact that I thought I had a puncture and I did slow down quite a bit. And honestly, it really helps when you have somebody that's going at your same pace, because it helps you push harder. And I just didn't really have somebody that was pushing that hard. That lady there at the end, she was pushing pretty hard, but we were at different parts of the route all the way until we actually ran into each other there towards the end. So yeah, I didn't really have anybody. It was just me by myself, which is fine. But it didn't really push me too much. I think I averaged like 160 or something like that watts, and I know I could have done maybe like 20 watts more. Yeah. And obviously I wasted a little bit of time on the pit stop there with changing batteries in the camera and all that stuff. So I probably could have saved at least 10 minutes on that ride, maybe even more. But again, this is not a race, it was a ride. It was a great experience. Honestly, it was a lot of fun for me. It was worth it 100%. I'll definitely do it again next year. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions, or maybe like if you have the experience with these types of events and you suggest something that I should try next time around. And hope you enjoyed it. It was a different video from usual. Usually I do Zwift, but I thought I would share this because it was a cool first time experience for me. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.